First and foremost, I want to apologize about missing chapter 97 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I read it, of course, but I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life and with work. And so I wasn't able to do any type of recording. I had to do some at-home office work, craziness. But chapter 97 and chapter 98 that we got yesterday, well, I'm recording this on a Monday. Might not get this until Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever you guys get it, but chapter 98. Before we get into this, guys, I definitely want to let you guys know that we are going to be talking about 97 and 98, as you will see in the title below. We are talking about chapters 97 and 98 today. But Lord, chapter 98. Oh God, I'm not even. I hope I'm ready to really get into the discussion, and I don't want to miss any points. I have a lot of stuff that I have pre-ready to talk about, pre-prepared that I'm ready to dive into, but I'm definitely ready to just full-blown speak on this. And so, yeah, before we really get into these two chapters, you guys, you know you gotta let that intro play. Hit it. Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 97. So we're going to start off with 97, as you know, got to go in chronological order. Don't want to go backwards. We're going to just go forward. Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 97. It was pretty much greatness. We got Megumi and Itadori being able to take out the Netero lookalike guy, and also Megumi figuring out that his ability was inverse, which was really cool. Shout out to the homeboy Malice in my Jujutsu Kaisen chat on Twitter, Tokyo Metro or Jujutsu Kaisen High. But yeah, he had a theory that the ability was inverse. I had something similar. I didn't know if his ability would be something like inverse. I thought it was something as if a certain ability hits him of a certain strength, it will automatically be died down. And so what you would have to do is use a combination of multiple small techniques to eventually do damage over time. So I thought his ability would end up being some drawn out type of ability where it's forcefully making us draw out these fights. But instead, it's just an inverse thing, and it has a scale where it can't be too weak, it can't be too hard, I'm too strong. And I love how Megumi talks about how there had to be some type of inverse scale. It had to be something of that nature, because if it wasn't, the wind itself would be hella damage to the guy. I love stuff like that. I love when those type of details are really honed in, really focused on. We have Ino in the beginning of the chapter. Sheesh. Yeah, Ino got that ass whooped. I was Ino Hive. I generally wanted Ino to do something amazing. When he put the bag over his head, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo. I was ready. I was ready for Ino to become something great. I was ready for Ino to be, to get that promotion. I think Ino losing is another sign towards Nanami's death. I know that might be a hard reach, but of course, this is a character whose persona is around what would Nanami do. And beforehand, we've already seen that Ino's a very capable shaman. He's never had weaknesses, and he's used to running alone anyway. We've seen that in past arcs, and we've also seen Nanami make it seem like he is proud of Ino, that he likes how Ino moves, that he thinks Ino is a well-handled shaman. I guess Ino not being able to think for himself and being on the whole, oh, what would Nanami do wave might have been a huge drawback to why he couldn't beat the fake Toji. But I said fake Toji, Lord have mercy. But we're not even going to get into that yet. We're still on chapter 97. But yeah, he got that ass whooped. He got entirely blitzed. He got the bag snatched off his face, and he got that ass beat. I keep saying bag, but I hope y'all know that the ski mask, a bag is a slang reference to the ski mask. I'm used to saying bag. I'm sorry. But yeah, you guys should get what I'm saying. He got that ass whooped. That shit was actually kind of funny. Ino looks good without the beanie on, too. I thought he'd be more of a gruff-looking fellow, but he got the wavy hair. He seems pretty smooth. He's pretty smooth, but he got taken out in a heartbeat. It was a pretty quick cleanup done. But when you think about it, both sides, I guess, that happened to them. Ino lost pretty quickly for our side, and then the Netero lookalike dude lost pretty quickly for the evil sorcerer side. So it seems to be Akutami did that, of course, purposefully. It has some stuff going on. I love how Yuji threw a fucking car. Yuji can throw a car? Like, that part really threw me off because I know that Yuji has Heavenly Restriction or probably has something like Heavenly Restriction and is OP, not OP, but you know, he's stronger than a regular human being. They used to say he was like a car, how fast he can run and how he threw that shot put ball like it wasn't nothing in chapter 1. We already knew that Yuji was, you know, overly strong, but he threw a car. So like, people gotta understand that to take it to a reference, like My Hero Academia, for example, people will talk about how with the Gentle arc, because that's going on right now in the anime, I'm manga only. I don't watch the anime anymore after season 3. I stopped watching. But they talk about how Itadori was able to hold the steel beam. Yes, steel beam. He was able to hold the steel beam with the one hand using like 8 or 10% of One for All. And yeah, that's heavy as shit. Those are tons, you know? But like, Yuji just picked up a car and threw it. So like, what? I don't know if was that his raw strength or was that cursed energy? But I don't know if cursed energy can do something like that. I don't know. It threw me off. It threw me off because Megumi didn't seem like shocked. He was like, oh yeah, that's more his thing. And then the giant vehicle is just is flying at the old man. But the old man did low-key seem to brush it off. Not brush it off, but you know, he didn't like, oh my god, a car, like get taken out. He did seem to like, you know, be able to maneuver around it, do what he had to do to, you know, not get taken out solely by the car. I do find it hilarious that he was talking about how, because I thought this was going to be not really over for real. I thought that they were going to figure out the ability. Then the old man was going to be like, oh, they figured it out. Okay. Da, da, da. But it seemed that he's not even used to people figuring out his ability. That he's used to people being desperate, thinking, why am I not beating him? And then trying to do this final big attack. And then that be his opportunity to take them out. So I thought that he was going to have some means around it, but that's probably why he's so scared of Gojo. Not probably, it's said that's why he's so scared of Gojo, because he doesn't have a means around someone figured out his ability. I mean, Gojo's an anomaly in itself, so it's probably deeper than just that itself, but he doesn't have a means to even get around the ability. And then him thinking that Megumi and Yuji are just simple kids and figuring it out, didn't even realize they figured it out until they was already about to finish the nigga, basically. So, yeah, that was nice. In that chapter, on that note, I was hurt though to see Ino losing. I was hurt to see him get taken out. I wanted to see more of a fight. I guess we can't be surprised because it's Toji, but I didn't think that because it's not really Toji. It was just the grandson with Toji's body. And that's going to lead me to chapter 98. So, Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 98. 97 was really simple. 97 was us just seeing how these fights was unfolding and seeing the conclusion to the fights that we was getting. With Ino versus the grandmother and the grandson, and Megumi and Yuji versus the Netero looking guy. I'm not sure if these people have gotten names yet. I don't think they've gotten names. I think I would know. Let me not say that because I don't know. But I don't think they've gotten names yet, so I have to keep saying these, you know, odd, like, you know, way of classifying them. But yeah. With chapter 98, though, it's a matter of where I want to start. Because we can start in the beginning of the chapter. How about that, right? So, chapter 98, we have Megumi and Yuji, you know, finalizing their win. You know, we have them finalizing that they are, you know, moving on to the next step. I like how, though, how can I put this? I like how Megumi and Yuji's relationship is developing. For example, we see Ino fall off the roof. Megumi peeps it first. He's like, yo, Ino, you know, Nue, flies, snags our mans. snags our mans. And Itadori catches him. And they, have that interaction of, just lost. What's our next move? This, that, and the third. I love how Itadori says, I'm going to keep moving. I feel like this is really Hunter x Hunter-esque, where we're really diving into the bag of, and I know we can say that for a lot of stuff Akutami does, but we're really diving into the bag of, okay, we can't make this too shonen-like, where it's, oh, just lost. So now Megumi and Yuji are going to team up and they're going to fight the big bad Toji and they're going to somehow overcome. It's like, no, we still have a goal. Yeah, we knocked down these curtains, but we still have a goal. We still don't have these curtains finished yet. So we have to keep moving. So Itadori keeps moving. And I like how Megumi confirms, okay, yeah, that's probably the smartest plan. But, and that but being him being nervous about sending Itadori up forward on his own, because it's hilarious. You got to remember, and some of you guys probably don't really forget, but for me, when I'm reading, it smacks me and makes me remember that, yeah, the last time that Megumi and Yuji were on a mission together, like a serious mission together, Yuji died. So it's like, and I know we're talking about Origin of Obedience. It's like, that was a mission, but they weren't like together fighting. But during the Fearsome Womb, as it's called officially, I can't remember the unofficial translation name, but Yuji died. They were fighting together. They had to separate so that Megumi could go on ahead to save Nobara and find a way out. And Yuji was to escape, but Yuji died in that process. Sukuna ended up taking over, coming at Megumi, snagging the heart, and they having their scrap. And you can see that that's still what Megumi plays in his head whenever he's telling them be careful. I mean, even when he told Yuji to go get Nobara in Origin of Obedience when she got snagged, it wasn't on some like, be safe when you go get her. It was like, go get her. And then Yuji's like, you be safe to Megumi. He's all like, go, nigga, like, I got this. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Like, don't worry about me. But this, I think because Megumi realizes just how high the stakes are, he's like, yo, be careful. And remember, like, I'm gonna see you later. And Itadori's like, right. I also find it really interesting that he says, don't worry, I got Mekamaru with me. And then he thinks, even though I haven't heard Mekamaru in a while. So Mekamaru's contingency is done. It's over. I'm assuming his contingency is now gone. It's done. They're not getting no more information from Mekamaru. He did everything they could to supply them with information. Now it's over. It's done. They're not getting no more. And so with that being said, now I feel like the stakes are even higher. They have no information source. Now everything is based on solely what comes in front of them and what appears in front of them. And for Choso, Jogo, and Mahito to all be in the vicinity, and now there is no type of external information, external link to the other side, the stakes have tripled. The stakes have now tripled. Okay, I think people downplay how clutch Kokichi was with that contingency, with being able to give them so many options and so many ideas and so many different plans. So now, that's gone. And so now Yuji has to go off of pure instinct. I'm hoping this means a Sukuna arrival is coming. But that's besides the point. We'll see what happens with that later on in the future. That's more of a what to expect standpoint of what's going on, what I want to see in the future standpoint of what's going on. But what really is happening at this very moment that has me top tier peaked is Toji. I know this is what y'all waiting to talk about. Toji's back. And not on some like BS back. He's back and it just makes perfect sense. Like, when the grandson says in Toji's body, okay, grandma, what's next? And then she goes, kill those other sorcerers. And then he goes, okay. And then he goes, okay. I think he gets ready to ask what's next. And he goes, what? And then it stops. He gets taken over. Toji takes control back. And not because of his soul, because of his body. I love how the grandma, she says, no, I purposefully only summon the body and not the soul to keep stuff like this from happening. So now that takes it into a whole other perspective of JJK. Necromancy is a serious, serious ability because you can really bring back the body and the soul of a person with the right DNA, with the right medium. Okay? With that being said, Toji says that his body beat the grandson's soul, something that the grandma says has never been heard of. Well, what does that mean? Heavenly restriction. It might not have been said by Gege in that moment because we know how Gege likes to explain things and it'll be explained upon or expanded upon, but it's clearly heavenly restriction. It's very clear that his body, which did not have cursed energy, which was holy. You got to think heavenly restriction now, to me, at first, I thought was a nice play on terms, was a nice word. But now I'm starting to realize, no, your body is holy. Your body is more of your soul than your soul. Your body and soul might even be one to a degree. It might even be the same entity almost, connected in a way that nobody else's bodies are connected, which means Maki might be able to even do something of this degree. I mean, this is crazy. What made it even worse for me was I was like, okay, well, when her ability runs out, Toji goes away, but then he killed her. So that has me wondering, does killing not stop the necromancy, or did Toji's body literally overtake this boy's soul and now Toji is back permanently? You gotta, this is what Akutami is taking this to a whole other level, because Toji was a big character in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, power-wise alone, not just lore, because lore is a thing, but power-wise alone. So now his character was removed and now it's back. Now it's in the forefront. And Megumi is still there. Alone. No, I talked about this in chat. Nobody agrees with me. And that's fine. You don't have to. I could entirely be wrong. But I think this is about to be a real Fushiguro reunion season. I said that I think that Toji's going to help Megumi. And when I say help, a lot of people were assuming that I'm saying, oh, he's going to say, okay, yeah, let's go unseal Gojo. I don't think that's the case necessarily. I think at first he's not going to realize who Megumi is, and he's probably going to whoop Megumi's ass. Something's going to happen where he's going to realize who Megumi is in some weird, corny, gag-like fashion, because, that's kind of how it goes. We know how the gag was before when he said, Megumi, who's that again? And then out of nowhere, he says the word blessing and goes, oh, yeah. Megumi, I named him, Also, another big reason why I think that Toji is going to do something along the lines to more so boost Megumi than to harm him is because of the recent translations we got for the Japanese release of Volume 10 of Jujutsu Kaisen, where Toji's in the book, and Toji is talked about within the book. And within the manga volume, it says there that Toji, rephrase how I want to start this. It says that Megumi's mother was the woman that was taking Toji off his negative path, but then her sudden death plunged him back into it. So it has me starting to wonder. I'm hoping that Toji isn't reduced to just an assassin now that he's back. I think just reducing him to an assassin will take away from his character and the potential that him and Megumi could have. I'm not looking for a father-son, the two of them are close type of deal. It would be ideal if Toji kidnapped Megumi in the midst of this arc, or even at the end of the arc, kidnaps Megumi, and then starts putting Megumi onto knowledge, starts putting him onto who his mother was, putting him onto the woman that he married, that's his sister's mom. Start putting him onto the knowledge of why he left the Zenin, why he was trying to sell him to the Zenin, if he even finds out that information, because Gojo was going to tell him all of it, then he said he didn't care. So it starts to have me wondering, like, what is Akutami going with this? Because you didn't have to bring Toji back. Why did you bring him back? For what reason did you really instill him? And I know Akutami loves using characters that's already been introduced, but there has to be more to it. The same way with Togashi. Togashi brings back characters at times, not just like by death, but I mean in general, bringing them back into the story because they have some relevance. And I feel like Akutami is going to keep up with that type of trend because of just how Akutami carries Jujutsu Kaisen, how similar it is to Hunter x Hunter. And because of that, I'm hoping that Toji isn't reduced to, oh, I'm here, I just want to kill people and chase the money again. It's like, okay, yeah, but you know you have a second chance on life now. I'm hoping you want to expand to that. You know how crazy it would be to finally see Toji, Megumi, and Maki decide, oh, we creating our own non-Zenin faction and try to fuck up the Zenin or try to become the new leads of the Zenin or try to change what the Zenin is about. I mean, come on. Come on. I think the future for this chapter is really, really bright. For Jujutsu Kaisen itself is really, really bright, and I don't want to spend too much time on talking about Fushiguro's discussion, but I really want to make sure I tapped into it so you knew where I was going, because in these future chapters, I'm really gonna be paying a heavy attention to how Akutami handles this. I'm gonna be very critical of Akutami if Akutami takes the very simple route with this and leaves Toji the way he is. I'm going to be very critical. It's not like I'm going to hate Jujutsu Kaisen or be mad at Akutami, but I'm going to have my gripes. I'm going to have some harsh opinions because I feel like if you're going to do something like this, you need to hit it. And you ain't missed yet, Akutami. So now you need to hit it. You done left Megumi here with him. So there's a lot that needs to happen with this. If it's a simple scrap and that's all we get, I'm going to be disappointed. This needs to be a little bit more to this. So aside from that, Mei. Baby?
Hey, baby.
Mei. I knew her only ability was just them crows. And that shit is lame as hell. Bebe's ability is lame as shit. But I love how she admits how weak it is. And that she had to learn how to get nice with fighting, learning how to get nice with just, using her little cleave and knocking niggas out. You know what I'm saying? Her little brother, I find hilarious. Him sitting there on the curse like, I find that so raw. I just find that whole persona, how he carries himself, to be so raw. The whole, basically a simp for his older sister. He's not really a simp, of course, for lack of a better word. He's an ass kisser. He pussy rides his older sister. Even though she is that bitch though. So I mean, are we mad at him? Of course not. But yeah, he rides the hell out of her, and I want to see what his ability is. I'm hoping he's raw as hell. I hope he's not just like a handler and is just there. Because they did say cursed ability and grade question marks when we got his introduction. So I'm really hoping that he's not just some fucking lame and she does all the work. But even if he is just a lame and she does do all the work, nice role switch. Usually be the little sister weirdly obsessed with the older brother, and the older brother is so cool. I like how that gender role has been switched. Thank you, Akutami. Keep giving us beautiful, powerful women. We appreciate it. But yeah, I was underwhelmed though with how the arc ended. With the chapter ended. Only because I did want to see Getu. I want to see more of Getu's reaction to these curtains falling. All he said was faster than I expected. Okay. Sure. Oh, I lied. I'm not underwhelmed. We're getting Nobara next week. I'm not underwhelmed at all. See, this Nobara arc, mini arc that we about to get, super hot fire, bro. I'm so excited. I'm ready for Nobara to whoop this guy's ass. And yes, that is a guy. He probably wants to be a girl, so if he would rather be called a girl, I'm sorry, I'd call you a girl, I apologize. But I haven't seen anything of that nature, but that is a guy for sure. It is a guy. He is this for girls. He's ready for more girls to. He's ready to run into more girls to fight. So I'm waiting for Nobara to whoop that ass. And I love how she sat there and said, "Hi, let me handle this real quick." Like, yeah, clean this up, Nobara. Clean this up. Clean this up. We don't need to be doing this all day at all. We don't need to be doing this all day at all. So I'm excited. I want to see Maki. I thought they would all be together, but it seems they've split. Which I find it very interesting that they've split and we haven't gotten any dialogue to what their plans are, which means 9 times out of 10, Akutami is going to backtrack a little bit next chapter, show us what their plans are in separating, and then show us what's going on with that Nobara fight. Hopefully after we're getting what's going on with the Nobara fight, mid or end of that chapter, we get what's going on with Toji and Megumi. And maybe some Itadori and what's going on with him. I do wish that Akutami says what's going on with Itadori going into the future for solo chapters. So we see what's going on with him for whole chapters. I feel like that would be awesome. But every time I have an idea how Akutami is going to handle the chapters, Akutami switches it up and it's better than the idea I had. So I don't really care what you do, you know. Do your thing, Akutami. I love you. But yeah. That's really all I have for chapters 97 and 98. Quick discussion on what we got in review. I give 97 a 8.5 out of 10. I'm giving 98 a 10 out of 10. I think 98 is the setup for the rest of what Jujutsu Kaisen is going. I think that 98, once again, is showing us that this body and soul shit is extremely important in Jujutsu Kaisen. I think that Toji is now being shown as a key character in Jujutsu Kaisen. I think that the Fushiguros, meaning Megumi and Toji, are going to have a very impactful and powerful dialogue coming up. I hope it's next chapter. We might only get the Nobara fight next chapter. Am I complaining about that? Why would I complain about that? Who wants to complain about that? Are you complaining about that? Don't complain about that. You're a bum. Don't complain at all. Nobara's go. But either way, I'm extremely excited. And yeah, that's really all, folks. This is me, Doncho, as you guys know. If you like the video, if you like what I do, hit the like button at the bottom. Subscribe, share it, send it to your friends. You know, Jujutsu Kaisen needs YouTubers. We need people who want to talk, discuss, do the thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm only getting started. You know, I'm only getting started. So bear with me. If you have some discrepancies, if you have something you want me to talk about, if you got something to expand on that I may have mentioned, you can always type your life away at the bottom of the motherfucking screen. And I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna respond to it. I'm gonna love it. You know, whatever happens. Even if you wanna say I'm a bum and don't do shit and I'm an asshole, I'm gonna be like, yo, you right. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that bell icon, bro. Hit that bell icon. But all right. Once again, this is me, Doncho. Thanks for coming to the hideout, and I'm glad you guys can make it safely.